Hey, what's up you guys? So today I'm going to be filming my Thanksgiving pie recipes. I've already done a couple so far, which I will give you some tips and tricks for, but they're already in the fridge, all ready to go for they're already in the fridge, all ready to go for Thanksgiving. Today I'm going to be making an apple pie to complete my Thanksgiving trio. It might not be the last pie. I might end up doing a sweet potato pie as well. But for now, this might be the last pie, maybe, not sure. But I am going to just start by rolling out the dough that I've already prepared. I will pop my recipe in the description below, but basically you can just find like a basic recipe for this. My favorites are always from All Recipes. For some reason those just seem to be the ones that work the best. But I used a recipe that had half butter and half margarine, and I feel like those turn out really well. And also butter is just expensive. So this has been sitting in the fridge for a little bit, so it's pretty hard. So I've let it stay out of the fridge for just a little bit now, but I'm just gonna work the dough. So a couple of tips and tricks that I have for pie making is, first of all, like the main tip is you have to make sure that when you're making your dough that your butter is frozen. It's really important to make sure it's frozen, like probably the most important thing, because you want those little packets of butter to still be intact when you're baking your pie crust. So I'm just gonna let these sit for a bit, come back to them, but I'm gonna start on apple filling. Alrighty, so I've gone ahead and moved a couple things around. Back there I have my Dutch oven all ready to go. I'm just gonna add about 5 or 6 cups of water to that, and then I'm gonna have all of my sliced apples. I got like about a dozen apples, but it really just depends on the size of the pie that you want, and you'll know like once you've done like the first 5 or 6 like how many more you need, so you can just judge based on that or based on the specific recipe that you're following. So that's going to be the next step that I do. I'm just going to chop up all these apples, and you want to have fine slices, not like super fine, but like you don't want to have like super thick chunky slices, or maybe you do. I guess that's up to you. But for me, I'm going to have some like pretty thin slices, as you'll be able to see in a second. And then I'm just going to put the cups of water in here, and I'll show you this in a second, but basically you want to have a cornstarch mixture that's starting to go, and that's what you're going to start cooking your delicious apples in. So I'll show you that in a second. So now we're just going to start chopping up our apples. Doesn't have to be perfect. You want them in like thinnish kinds of slices, but you can really do it. Just don't make them too massively huge and you're pretty much good to go. So I'm getting a mix because you want to have like sweetness and tartness and all that kind of stuff when you're making an apple pie. It's nice to have like a good blend of flavors. Okay, so we just put in our 5 cups of water, and then we're going to be adding about 2 cups of sugar. Oh, I forgot to mention this. So you're going to put in about half a cup of cornstarch, but you're going to dilute it in a little bit of water first. This is not a good method scientifically, but I'm just getting a half a cup. No, let me try this again. I'm getting a cup and a 1/3 cup that's overflowing and putting it in here and dissolving it, so then you have about half a cup. And this doesn't have to be precise science on this for our mixture. So now we just have this weird little soup-like thing. This is the improved method. My apple pie spice. And this is also going in the goop, so that's exciting. I'm going to do about 1.5 teaspoons of this spice, but if you don't have the spice, because I don't know, you don't want it, I'll link it down below if you do. This is just from King Arthur, which is who I like to buy spices from. Not sponsored, hashtag not sponsored. Ooh. Wow, apples are amazing. Really are. Anyway, so you don't have this, just get nutmeg and cinnamon and do 1 teaspoon of of 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a half teaspoon of nutmeg, something like that. Like, just put in some spices. The intelligent way to do this is to put it in not straight to the pot, but to put it together first, then add it. So your spices are mixed and everything. That's what I did last time. That's not what I did this time. So yeah, you're just gonna let that boil, and you just keep chopping up your apples. And then once it is boiled, then, only then, can you add your apples to the goop. See these weird like caramelizing bubbles? This is perfect. This is everything that you need in life and more. It's being very good at being goop. And then, ooh, watch this trick. It's not gonna go well, I'm sure. You just slide into that. And there you have it, folks. I've got other things when I make this, but apparently not today. And now it is time to put on the top crust. Ooh, let's see if we can do it. And then we just put this beautiful masterpiece in the oven at 375 for 45 minutes. And after the first like 20 or so, you're gonna put foil around the edges of the crust so it doesn't burn. Alright, see you later, pie. Bye, pie. See you soon. Be beautiful.
At the end of the list versus the right list.
Woo, fun lighting change. Alright guys, so I'm making the top layer of my crust, but I had, oh, we can't do it. I had an idea.